Welcome back. And the question I want to kick off today with is what if you're quietly settling, saying maybe later to the version of you that feels she's not ready yet, to the one who doubts she can do what others have done, who's afraid to go after that big idea sitting in her heart, or who's slowly losing passion because the pieces don't seem to fit anymore? What if you're just managing your goals instead of creating them? Welcome back, everybody, to the Audacity to Be Booked, Visible, and Paid series. This is our breakout session, and it's kind of like the workshop that you would definitely make it to if you were at a conference like this is it. But I do want to brace you. This conversation is going to challenge you and hit a little bit deeper. We're talking about unapologetic vision today, the ability to see yourself beyond the limits, the fears, and maybe later stories that keep you stuck. And joining me is the powerhouse herself, Miss Shawniel Chamanlal, award-winning therapist, empowerment coach, and founder of Healing Springs Wellness Center. She's built a six-figure practice, authored the Unapologetic Success, and teaches women how to manifest what they truly desire without apology and without burnout. So what up, Shawniel? How you doing, girl?
Hey, I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so
Oh,
excited to be here.
yes, I'm so excited to have you. It is always good to just like hold space with like dope people and to be able to like share that energy with people. I don't think we get to do that enough as a community and as a profession, right?
Yes.
So now you've achieved so much, and it's been amazing to see you do some of it, like from scaling a thriving wellness center to creating a life that truly reflects abundance. Like, y'all, she was in Italy chopping it up the other day over pasta not that long ago. Okay. So amazing life, living abundant. So I want to throw it to you. When did you first notice a belief shift that opened the door to that kind of personal and professional elevation? Like what changed in your thinking or your energy that made abundance feel real and not just like a Pinterest quote?
Well, I started to observe my environment and the people around me. So I was in grad school, right? So was that like 2011 or something?
Go back.
2011.
Yeah.
And I'm like telling everyone I'm be a rich social worker. I'm gonna have this private practice. And everyone's like looking at me like, are you crazy?
Uh-huh.
Like you should be thinking about going into nonprofit or a hospital. And then I'm just having these big dreams and visions, and everyone is just doubting me. And I started to look around me and think like, wow, I have a lot of doubters and naysayers in
Mm.
my environment. But I knew in my core that this was my purpose and my dream, and that I had to intentionally start to seek out a community of believers and visionaries and cheerleaders that could say, yes, you can do this, right? So I started to create that intention. God showed me those people, and I found other entrepreneur social workers that were like, yes, let's do the thing, right? And so that started to shift my perspective. I started to seek out other people that were successful and started to really shift that mindset of like, yes, I can. In addition to, I don't need to overwork or overextend myself because the dream is planted in there for me. And so it is, right? So starting to have that confidence and creating my environment to mirror that. Yeah.
Oh, that really shifted things. And I'm sure that was a big deal because it is hard to thrive in places that isn't nourishing to you, right? Because and just that energetic vibration of some of it hate, some of it just like small-minded vision. I could see what that can easily crush us and limit us.
Yes, because it's like, why do you want more? Don't you have enough? Like those
Mm.
thoughts, and and it's built on scarcity and like you said, small-mindedness. And if you're expanding, right, you're not going to try to close yourself in to fit the environment and the people. You have to start to look, to expand out.
Out.
And community is so important with that. So that was a shift for me and realizing that my mindset was the biggest thing, right? And my community was the biggest thing to allow
Yeah.
these dreams to be set into motion. Yeah.
Oh goodness, I love this already because even just that visual of the word expanding, right? Because
Mhm.
exactly what you said, expanding out. So that means it may be I have to also expand out of some relationships, expand out of communities and where I am, and really push into some other things, which could definitely be scary. But if you're going out, it means it has to be new things. It can't happen just like within that little bubble.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So now, before we go further, to those of you guys that are listening, yes, y'all, I'm talking to y'all. I want you to share with us in the chat or comment area what makes believing bigger hard for you right now. Right. So this is the breakout workshop, honey. So even in the virtual space, like we're going to work. So I want to know, and we can drop it in the chat comments for you guys, wherever you're hearing this, what makes believing hard, right? Is it the fear? Is it, the people that you're around, like we're talking about? Is it maybe more internal for you? Is it guilt, the guilt about wanting more, believing that I can't, not trusting yourself, feeling alone, whatever it is? Put it in the chat for us, because we know that when you start to name things, because that awareness, it begins to shift, right? So we're naming it because awareness is where we begin to change things. And I want you to see what happens by the end of this session today, just because you put it out there, right? So now while y'all do that, y'all get to those answers in the chat for us, let's break down abundance. So Shawniel, some people hear abundance and think like candles and crystals and vision boards, but I know for you it's practical and intentional, and we will get into that in more detail later in terms of how to manifest what you really want. But can we first look at what people often misunderstand about abundance, and how can we start practicing it in practical ways?
Yeah, so I feel like when it comes to abundance, it's really most people go to wealth or having more, having more materials, right? But abundance is a mindset, right? It's a mindset to understand that rooted in gratitude. Like, what do I currently have in my life that is fulfilling, right? Rooted in that solution focused ability of like, okay, I have a challenge right now. What is the lesson, right? How do I maneuver it versus like, oh, that's it. Like, I'm just going to give up, right? Like, there's still unlimited opportunities. There's more than enough for everyone, right? And I have to seek the answers, right? Through action and faith, right? Being able to shift that mindset to a solution focus, be rooted into gratitude, and know that there are dimensions of abundance, right? Like there are dimensions of abundance. There's emotional abundance, abundance in your relationships, abundance in your purpose, right? Definitely abundance in money. We all want the coins, right? But doing that self assessment to see what areas in my life feel abundant right now, right? Maybe I have these fulfilling relationships and I can anchor into that. And then what areas of my life, maybe it's work, purpose, where am I? Maybe you're scoring yourself like 4 out of like 10, right? Like 10 is the highest. What do I need to do to move the needle so that I can feel more purposeful and fulfilled in those areas, right? So instead of this big umbrella, just wealth, breaking it down and having gratitude for what you have and that solution focused mindset will continue to sustain you even when the waters get rough. And the dreams that you dreamt about in the past, they're already happening. So then this anchors you to raise your vibration to be like, I've done it before. I can continue to do it. Right.
Yeah, yeah, something to really lean into. So I love that direction there, and I love the parts that you're encouraging us to look at in terms of what abundance is. It doesn't just have to be financial. And I'm curious, listening, what's the connection to abundance and unapologetic vision?
That part is that if you have a clear vision of what you want for your life, personally, professionally, right? Like maybe you are looking to manifest that 6 figure, 7 figure business, right? You are really looking to be able to break it down, right? Like, what are the aligned action steps that I'm taking, right, to make that happen? What have I done so far? Who do I need, to make it happen? Because when you have this umbrella of like, I need to do the thing and I'm not really feeling abundant now, if you break it down and you seek the support, it's going to happen, right? And it's that confidence, like, yes, it's going to happen. It's just in divine timing with divine aligned action. Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so get clear on that vision, y'all.
Yes.
And that is pretty cool, because then you can also look at what areas am I abundant in or sort of lacking in that might even help me get to that place of vision and really kind of like execute it.
Mhm.
I'm hearing that right. So this is just like, ooh, yes, it just makes you think a little bit. And I love it on so many levels because it just connects even to like what I see on a regular basis in the coaching space. Like so many women, whether they're therapists, coaches, consultants, like we're brilliant, but they don't always lead with big vision. And I
Mhm.
think sometimes like we have ideas of what we want to do, but then we kind of hit this wall because vision sometimes requires us to be seen or to like
Mhm.
have a voice at the table, to tolerate things like judgment, and that attention isn't always easy. So I think that's what we see. People struggle with being consistent with the steps towards the vision. Consistency gets hard because visibility, I think, feels unsafe for a lot of us, right? Especially as like women of color and the things that we have to deal with, whether it's culture, trauma, the fear of being too much, all of that, right? So that spotlight or expressing your unapologetic self can be triggering when like our nervous system was raised in a way that it's restrictive, right?
Yeah, I agree because going back to the unapologetic is understanding the source of those barriers or those limits, and a lot of it is conditioning,
Mm,
right? And so, you have to really sit with that part of like, what's holding me back? Or even getting clarity, like, is this my vision? Is this my purpose? Because sometimes it's embedded like, okay, you need to be a doctor, you need to be an entrepreneur, but like, is it yours or did someone tell you, right? So really being clear on what you want based on your values, if there's any barriers, what do I need? Maybe it's therapy, coaching, consulting, right? To really be able to navigate that. But if that vision is for you, you're
mm,
going to make it happen as long as you're clear and it's in alignment with your values and who you are. That's where that confidence comes in, where now it's a little bit easy, it's more easier to be more visible, to show up in these spaces because you've done the work and you've cleared out those limits and conditionings that
mm.
society, your family, people place on you, right?
Yes, yes. Is it yours to carry? Right,
Mhm.
right. Whether it's the actual vision or like some of those like the hurts, the responsibilities, because maybe we're trying to hold that and what we want, and it's like it's taking up too much space.
Yes.
Yeah, we
Mhm.
have to release some things first. And you have this like gorgeous framework around like manifestation and unapologetic vision. And this is probably the part that most folks I think are going to find the most helpful. Like, can you walk us through a few steps or principles for how we as women can hold that unapologetic vision and how to really manifest what we really want?
Yeah. So one of the first parts of the framework is clarity, right? So that is so big for me is to be able to understand what are your desires, where are you heading? Again, looking at your values and naming the thing, right? So if you're like, I want to be booked and visible,
Yeah.
name the thing, right? And start to paint that picture. I love using visualization. So really scripting it out, writing it out as it is. So if you are looking to grow your business, what does that look like? What does that day in the life of you being a business owner, having that income look like? Paint that day. And I would say just keep on reading it, keep on adding to it, but you're getting really clear because clarity brings on confidence, right? And not only, I would also say, like, how does that vision of what you want center around your life, right? So we're not about to be a martyr to our business, to other people, right? How does it amplify your life? What does your most abundant self look like? So really unpacking that clarity, and then alignment, like how does your actions, we talked about environment, your energy match that? Like, what do you have to do now so that you are showing up as the person that you want to be? You can make those changes now. So, one of my mantras is how is my abundant self showing up today, right? So is my abundant self, eating a nourishing breakfast? Is my abundant self being the CEO of my business and making these decisions? Or am I like stuck in a Starbucks drive-through and doing all the day-to-day work? Like, where is the misalignment, right?
Right,
Like,
right. Where you
what
at?
steps can I take now, right, to be
Right.
able to embody that, right? So even those little questions and prompts, right, to be able to be like, what are my actions now? And then the embodiment. Don't wait until tomorrow to be the person that you want to be, right? So talk to yourself in a way, that is abundant, show up in rooms as your confident self. Take those steps now. Don't wait, don't put it off. Do it today. I remember one time where I was on a trip and I wanted like, I was like, I want a luxury car. So you know what I did? Like maybe I can't afford it today, but I'm gonna rent it, right? I'm gonna show up in that, amazing car. Even when I go on trips, I'm gonna get the private chef. Maybe I can't have it on my day to day,
You in
but
a
I'm
Bugatti?
gonna
What you doing? A Lamborghini? What's your car?
this this was a Mercedes, but I was like, how does it feel to
Right,
be in those positions? Maybe you can't have it all right now,
right.
but you can do that. And even with your choices, like going back to business,
Mhm.
what can you do today? What choices, what things are you doing? Even it's financial, are you being a good steward of your money now to prepare you for, all the coins that's going to be
It's
flowing in,
coming.
right?
Mhm.
So it's the embodiment, right? So again, clarity, alignment, and embodiment today is the things that's really going to amplify and your emotions and attract those things that you're manifesting,
Yeah.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love this, the idea of embodiment, because if you are used to a certain way of being, right? Like coming back to like having like the brain science of it, right? Like, because what y'all don't know is like we are actually therapists, so we are like great at what we do, and we get to bring all that to every avenue that we show up. Like those skills don't go away. And the idea of creating what you want, if you've never felt the thing, it's sometimes hard to believe the thing, right? So putting yourself in those situations, if even for just a moment, like you're already not just elevating the vibration, but you're creating new like neural pathways in your mind,
Yes,
right?
yes. Mhm.
So you can really understand what it feels like to be, so I can strive to that and not strive to what I know already, like whatever the limit is, whatever the hurt is, whatever the pain is, right? Because I know that's real familiar, it's real easy to go there, but I've got to set that bar of where I want to go. And it feels like such a like responsible way to do it too, right? Just
Mhm.
exposing yourself enough so you know, wow, that felt really good, like wow, that tasted really good, like wow, like me saving an extra $1,000 this month, like that was dope. Like, okay, me charging a little more for that next engagement, getting that check is like, oh, I can live. Okay, I can't go back now. Now that I've
You can't go
experienced it,
back. You can't go back. Yes.
like we gonna
And
level all the way up.
And I say too, like the embodiment is sharing those dreams with people. So I've been talking about a private chef forever. Like I am gonna have a private chef at my house. And I remember I keep on sharing it. So now my friends and like when I go on these trips, they're like, Chanel, I've been thinking about you and that private chef. You're gonna have that private chef. And it's like your community starts to like hold that vision for you. And
Yes.
that's even good. Like even when I wanted to be like to be a speaker, I put it out in the world. I'm gonna be a speaker. I put my vision board out there and I said, if you have any
Yes.
opportunities, let me know. And most of my speaking engagements come from just that, putting it out there to my network. And it still
Ah,
pays off. So it's like, share your dreams with the people that's going to support you and hold that vision too. That's a part of embodiment too in community.
ooh,
Yeah.
okay, this might be a whole nother episode, because I know a lot of people are scared to share the vision, but you
Hmm.
dropped another nugget in there, because it's about the people who can support you, which means that you might need new people coming back to environment,
Yes.
because you've got to share it with the right people. Come on now, y'all. Okay. And I know y'all pens are on fire. If y'all been taking notes and jotting it down, listen, I was like, "Ooh, how is my abundant self showing up today?" I have to ask myself that every day. Okay. Amazing. All right. Whew. Okay. So we see like the public wins for you. I mean, the practice, the book, the success, right? Even how you are embodying this thing that you teach. It's just so magical. But I'm curious, like, what's a private win that's really changed how you show up for yourself and your vision? Like, what's really shifted to help you manifest and embody that, being seen, valued, and paid for who you truly are?
Yes. So, one of the things I talk about in my book is celebrating your wins. I am an ambitious overachiever, recovering perfectionist,
Come on now,
all the things,
all
right?
the things.
But, turning 40, I really, or like even like the eve, so 39, I started to really reflect on I don't need to keep on moving the goalpost, right? Like, where you just keep on moving the goalpost, but you're not celebrating your wins. You're not reflecting on the things that you have right now that were once dreams that you can just enjoy. Sometimes when we're in scarcity mode, we're always looking for more, feeling like it's not enough, right? And missing the magic that's happening in the present. And so I've been able to slow down and be able to savor more time with my family, and really just enjoying those moments, because that was once a dream for me, to be able to not work, 5 days a week, to be able to enjoy those moments with them, enjoy the weekends. So really more attention to them, taking care of myself more, working out, and just really nurturing myself, because when we are dreamers and doers, we're also givers, and we pour in a lot to our dreams and to people, and we can't forget about ourselves. And so it's really been nice to really reconnect to self, and just enjoy what I have right now, because it is truly abundant. And I know there's more to come, but when you anchor into that joy and fulfillment, it increases the ability to have more magic and more miracles, and be an opportunity magnet where things just fall more into your lap, than just trying to overwork and overextend and do it and burn out, right? So it's been nice to really just reconnect.
Can't have that. Yeah, yeah. And oh, the magic. I think we want that magic. And the one where it's like you're settling into ease, right?
Yeah.
And really enjoying all that you've worked so hard for, which is so good to hear. And just being in that place where it's almost like I've done enough, not that there isn't more to do, but now I can allow that to call in the opportunities for me. I
Yes.
don't have to keep like pushing out as much. Whew, right.
100%. And
Yeah.
it feels good. It
Yeah.
feels good.
Yeah.
And
I
I
see
think
it and I
sometimes we
hear it.
forget. Yes. But I think for us, like, being in survival mode a lot, like, you could do this at any stage, is just to be able to anchor into that of like, I'm safe, there's enough, for me, what opportunities for me will not be missed. Or I use a lot of affirmations, and it's really grounding. And so it's like you start to believe it. You're like, yeah, you're right. And then, God, the universe starts to show up and show you, absolutely, absolutely, it's here for you, right? So that mindset shift and just groundedness is important. Mhm.
One last reflection question for you before you tell folks where to find you. If you could tell your younger self, or the woman still doubting her power, one thing about being unapologetically abundant, so she could get to this point of confidently putting herself out there and getting into ease and, getting booked and paid, something that feels good, like what would it be? What would you go back and tell yourself?
One, I would say that, you are worthy, right? Like, and your worthiness is not defined by how much you do. It's just you being you, right? So, show up as your authentic, magical self, right? Not the overworked, overworked person that's always doubting, show up as your most abundant, most confident self, because that's just who you are. That's your birthright, right? Instead of having to prove self. That's what I would say. And regardless of what people say, you keep on going, right? Because God put that vision in you for a reason. Yes.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I feel like that one we can just let like marinate. You can feel that one in your heart. I love it.
Mhm.
Ooh. All right. So now where can folks find you?
Yes. So you can find me. I love showing up on Instagram, like posting my inspirational journey and, like, coaching nuggets. So you can find me on my first and last name, Shawniel Chamanlal. I'm also on LinkedIn, and we have like, my first and last name is my website. So if you are looking to, manifest more abundance, purchase my book, Unapologetic Success, you can also find me on my website, chanelchamalal.com.
Lovely. And we are going to make sure that we share all those links, of course. And I think it's always good, like when you feel connected to something, to someone, at least at a minimum, like go see them, find them, follow them so their information comes up on your algorithm, and
Mm.
definitely share it, right? I think we do well when we share, we build in community. So make sure to check out all of her things, and we will again link that. And then going back to our listeners who told us in the beginning what the fear was, what was getting in your way, what do you have to say about it now? What's your takeaway from this big vision conversation that will take you past that fear and position you so those opportunities can find you? Make sure to put it in the chat or comment area. And again, go share this episode with a friend. Like there's no gatekeeper here, y'all. And we can only keep growing as a community if we keep sharing as a community. So we will be looking for those comments. And meantime, Shawniel, it was so good to have
Thank
you, to
you.
hear from you. Thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate you.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you everyone for listening. Take care.